Hello Curious! Over the weekend, we all learned the sad news about the passing of a legendary talk show host Larry King. He was known for hosting his program Larry King Live on CNN for 25 years, and in that time, he had taped over 6,000 episodes before he made the decision to retire in 2010. His show featured a wide range of guests from singers to actors to athletes and politicians, and King had interviewed every single president of the United States from Ford to Obama. But while he was seen as this iconic presenter with an incredible and impressive career, can the same be said for his private life? Was he unlucky in love? What tragedies did he experience in his personal life? And why are some saying that there is a curse on the King family? Be sure to stay with us until the end as we look back at the life of Larry King. His career in the media industry goes back all the way to the 50s, where he worked as an interviewer for the WMBM radio station that broadcasts in the Miami area. He gained prominence in '78 when he began to host The Larry King Show, which was an all-night nationwide call-in radio program, and then obviously from 1985 until his retirement in 2010, he was the host of the CNN show Larry King Live. And surely many of you curious are able to recall his familiar voice starting each show with "Tonight," before launching into a brief outline of what he would be talking about in each given episode. Though retirement didn't stop him from continuing with his journalistic career, and from 2013 until his passing, he hosted the show Politicking with Larry King, which aired on Hulu, Aura TV, and RT America. King's passing was announced via his Facebook page by his son Chance. In a statement, he wrote, "With profound sadness, Aura Media announces the death of our co-founder, host, and friend Larry King, who passed away this morning at age 87 at Cedar Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles." While I did not mention a cause of death, on January 2nd it was announced that he was hospitalized at the end of December after testing positive for COVID, though whether his passing is related to the virus has not been confirmed. Though despite his impressive career, Larry's personal life was not always so perfect. King was born Lawrence Harvey Zager on November 19, 1933, to Jewish immigrant parents. His mother was from Lithuania and his father hailed from Ukraine. It was with his father that tragedy struck the Zager family. When Larry was 10 years old, his father had passed away from a heart attack, and the talk show host would later go on to say that it is a memory that he would mostly black out. After that, his mother was left to raise her two sons alone, and in an interview with The Guardian, he admitted that his father's passing had a profound effect on him and his mother, stating that prior to it, he had been a good student, but afterward he just stopped being interested. Continuing on, he said, "It was a real blow to me, but eventually I channeled that anger because I wanted to make him and my mother proud." And as you can see, curious, he did just as he said he would. His hard work also paid off, not only in terms of making his parents proud, but also in terms of his bank balance. According to the Los Angeles Times, in 1990, King had signed a then record 5-year, $8 million contract with CNN. Then, by 1998, as per the New York Times, his pay had reached $7 million per year. And as Larry himself had said in an interview at that time, he never imagined that he would have this much money in his life. However, according to reports, during his final years at CNN, his contract worth had grown by a lot and was estimated to have been at $56 million, and King's net worth was said to have been $144 million. Though according to CelebrityNetWorth.com, at the time of his passing, the sum was estimated to be $50 million. But while things were always looking up in his career, the same couldn't have been said for King's love life. He was married 8 times to 7 different women, but who were they? In '52, at the age of 19, he married his high school sweetheart, Freda Miller, though their union was not meant to last, as the following year the two called it quits, and Miller's parents had allegedly been to blame, as they reportedly had the marriage annulled. Later, he was briefly married to Annette Kay, with whom he had a son, Larry Jr., that was born in '61, though the two did not get to meet until Jr. was in his 30s. The same year that his son was born, Larry married his third wife, Aileen Akins, who was a Playboy bunny. The wedding took place at one of the magazine's nightclubs. He would also go on to adopt her son, Andy, in 1962, though once again that relationship also ended in divorce, and the following year Larry would go on to say "I do" for the 4th time, this time with Mary Frances Stupin by his side. After their marriage had ended just like the ones before it, King would once again rekindle his love with Akins, and the two remarried. With Aileen, he had a second child, daughter Chaya, who was born in 1969. However, once again, despite their efforts, the relationship did not last, and the two divorced for the second time in 1972. Then in September '76, once again King stood in front of the altar with wife number 5, Sharon Lepore, who was a math teacher and a production assistant. Their union lasted until 1983. In '89, he met businesswoman Julie Alexander and proposed to her on their first date. Not wasting much time, the two tied the knot in October that same year. However, they lived in separate cities, as Alexander worked in Philadelphia and Larry in Washington, D.C. This put a strain on their relationship, and they ended up separating in 1990, with a divorce being finalized in '92. His 7th wife was Shawn Southwick, who was a singer, actress, and a TV host. The two married in an unusual place, which was King's hospital room just 3 days before he underwent heart surgery. Together, the couple had 2 children, Chance, born born in 1999 and Cannon in 2000. It seems that Sean was the one to last the longest, as on their 10th anniversary in 2007, he joked that she was the only one to have lasted into the 2 digits. Though once again, trouble came knocking and the two filed for divorce in 2010. Despite the fact they later reconciled, they once again filed for divorce on August 20th, 2019. If what seems like a lack of luck in his love life wasn't enough, tragedy struck the King family in 2020 when 2 of his children had passed away within 3 weeks of each other. On August 23rd, the talk show host took to his Instagram to share a photograph of his children and to announce the news to his followers. He wrote that Andy, his adopted son from his marriage to Akins, had passed away unexpectedly after a heart attack on July 28th, and his daughter Chaya, who he had with Akins, passed on August 20th, a short time after having been diagnosed with lung cancer. Though just like his father and his son Andy, King himself had problems with his heart. In 87, before having a quintuple bypass surgery, which in the end turned out to be successful, he had suffered a major heart attack. To talk about his experiences, he wrote 2 books about living with the heart disease. The first one titled Mr. King, You're Having a Heart Attack: How a Heart Attack and Bypass Surgery Changed My Life. This was written with the help of Newsday science editor B.D. Colon. His second book was titled Taking on Heart Disease: Famous Personalities Recall How They Triumphed Over the Nation's #1 Killer and How You Can Too, which also included other celebrities talking about their own experiences with cardiovascular diseases. After that heart attack, Larry would have to receive annual chest x-rays to monitor his heart condition, and in 2017, during one such examination, doctors had discovered a cancerous tumor in his lung. However, that was later successfully removed with surgery. In April 2019, he underwent another medical procedure with relation to his heart conditions, and it had been reported that during it he had another heart attack, though these claims were later retracted. The same year, on his show Politicking with Larry King, he had revealed that in March 2019 he suffered a stroke and was in a coma for weeks. Later, in an interview with a Los Angeles station KTLA, he opened up about how it made him feel, stating that he had even contemplated taking his own life. He went on to explain his reason for it and said, "I thought I was just going to bite the bullet. I didn't want to live this way." Though given the fact that he was able to return to hosting his own show, his condition had improved. Though now, following his passing, which has left many in the industry who had the chance to work with him or be interviewed by him devastated, some are bringing up something that King himself had said back in 2011. During the program CNN Presents, a Larry King special, Dinner with the Kings, the talk show host revealed what he wanted to happen with his body should he pass away. Entertaining his dinner guests, which included the likes of Conan O'Brien, Tyra Banks, Shaquille O'Neal, Seth MacFarlane, Jack Dorsey, Quincy Jones and Russell Brand, Larry might have given them quite a big shock. During the chit-chat over dinner, he stated, "I want to be frozen on the hope that they'll find whatever I died of and bring me back." During that same show, he had also stated that passing away was something that he had truly feared, and many of the fans are wondering whether this is something that he said as a joke or for the sake of conversation, or if this is truly one of his wishes, and if so, whether this is something that will be honored. At the moment, the King family had not commented on this or given any information about Larry's wishes. The official statement only said that the funeral arrangements and the memorial service will be announced later. So curious, what are your thoughts about all the tragedies and hardships that befell Larry King in his life? Did you know about the passing of his children? Were you aware of the host's own health problems? And do you think his wish to be cryogenically preserved was a serious one, and if so, will it be honored? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, we will see you in the next video.